Hey, hope you're good. Just Matt here. Just wanted to shoot you another little video on something that I came up with in terms of just 6 simple ideas, I guess, to help you, improve your fat loss if that is your goal. Okay, so being leaner has obviously many benefits, not just for performance, but also for health for most of us. Okay, so the first thing I think we want to make sure we're really clear about before we start talking about calories is that we know that being in a deficit is key to helping fat loss. But we don't just want to create a deficit by, you know, forgetting what's important in terms of the nutrient quality of our food. So nutrient quality is vitally important because it has a massive impact on your hormones. Now we find that you see that when people do starvation based diets, they really struggle, in terms of concentration and things like skin quality and hair and mood quality. So let's not forget that creating a deficit shouldn't be at the detriment of your of your hormonal health, and by eating proper foods and a variety across the 3 macronutrients, proteins, fats, carbohydrates. We can from whole sources we could normally make sure that 90% of the cases we are getting enough nutrients in. So the first thing, being in a calorie deficit, I mean, this is the foundation really of for every fat loss diet. It means basically that you consume fewer calories than you're going to burn off. Now, creating that deficit isn't just about creating a deficit through calories consumed. It's about obviously looking at your energy balance and trying to make sure that the exercise that you're doing, is appropriate as well for that. Okay. The second thing I've written here, and you'll see, is where I've written protein, and I tried to draw a little steak, lamb steak there. Hideous drawing, I know. But protein basically is the most satiating of all the macronutrients, so your proteins, fats, and carbs. Consuming enough of this protein is a proven way of controlling hunger and reducing overall total energy intake. Now, I guess the goal really, especially if you're training as well, is that you want to be aiming for around about 1.6 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight per day. Just to give you an example, you can obviously go and do your own research on what foods have what quantities of protein in them. But you've got eggs at sort of a medium-sized egg at 7 grams. Typical chicken breast around 25 grams. So just to give you an idea there, you can start working out and doing the maths for yourself. So we move over here to cut the sugar out. A bowl of sugar there. Sugar isn't effective at satiating hunger, and that's why sugary calories tend to go on top of the energy you already consume. Okay, we do know that we kind of snacking on those things, they just add in unnecessary calories. So what we try to do is kind of cut out the added sugars, such as things found in sugary drinks, and also from like sweets and those sorts of things. It's a really easy way of doing it. And I'm actually going to show you another video soon of just the impact over a year of what 1 can of Coke and a latte can have on a year. Okay, so sleeping down here at the bottom left. Okay, so we got trying to get at least 7 hours per night. It's getting enough sleep reduces levels of the different hunger hormones. Okay, and that's why it's beneficial to get at least 7 hours a night. You'll automatically consume fewer calories, which helps you to burn more fat. Okay, so simply by going to sleep, you're affecting the way in which your hormones behave during the next day and the next day and the next day. So the signals that your brain's sort of sending out are altogether different when we're not sleep deprived. I'm sure you felt that yourself. When you haven't had a lot of sleep and all you want to do is just eat something really sugary. Okay, I know I've been there too. As an added benefit, okay, you'll retain a lot more muscle as well, because during the night you've got human growth hormone, which is responsible for our growth and repair, and that in itself is optimized during the different sleep-wake cycles during the night. So if you go to bed a couple of hours late, you are potentially halving your ability to repair. Okay, because we know a lot of that physical repair happens in the early stages of sleep. There, so just bear that in mind. So let me move across here to the fifth thing, which I'll put down, which is increasing your fibre intake. Now, there's heaps of different studies, but one particular study that was published in the Journal of Nutrition Reviews said that for every 14 grams of fibre you consume, your total energy intake reduces by about 10%. So there again, what happens is when we eat fibre is it slows down the digestion of other foods within the gut, so we absorb more nutrients from it. That's why sugary refined foods with low fibre just don't really hit the spot when it comes to trying to burn body fat. Okay. I think just to give you a few ideas, obviously fruit and veg, really, really simple ways of us getting those things in. I automatically, I don't know why, but I automatically think like things like broccoli and cauliflower and those sorts of things. Then we got the sixth thing here. Okay, drink more water. Okay, so a lot of people can be sort of confuse thirst and hunger. Okay, so sometimes people are just hungry because they just haven't drunk enough. Yeah, so as a result, we ingest calories when we only really need water. And we also know that if we're dehydrated, it's almost impossible to lose body fat at that point. Okay, just the hormonal and what happens at the cellular level. So again, by having water, and drinking water regularly during the day can actually be potentially prevent you from eating foods when you don't really need them. Okay, so they're my little 6 tips on losing some body fat without really going anything too drastic. And we haven't even discussed the benefit of training really, apart from in the early stages there when I mentioned the deficit here at the very start. Cool. Any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I'll speak to you real soon. Bye-bye.